Welcome to another video. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Today I'm going to be talking about Fibonacci retracements. Now, in Forex we use a number of Fibonacci tools, but today I'm just going to be specifically going over the Fib retracement. Now, before I even get into that, I want to talk about what the Fibonacci sequence is. So, a mathematician in the 12th century, I think it's 1170 AD, called Leonardo Fibonacci, he discovered a series of numbers where the sum of the current number is made up by just adding the previous two numbers. 0 and 1, if you add them together, it makes 1. If you add 1 and 1, it makes 2. 1 and 2 makes 3. 3 and 2, 5, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get too much into it, but it's literally found everywhere. It's found inside us, it's found in the universe, in the galaxies, in hurricanes, even our DNA, animals, plants. Like, the list is endless, and it works in trading as well. So we use Fibonacci retracement to find areas of potential support and resistances where price can obviously potentially reverse. We need to understand that in trading nothing is definite. We're literally trading in a market of constant uncertainty. So you need to know that not everything is 100%, and you need to have confidence in that. And another thing to keep in mind is that it works best in a trending market, and the idea is to always go with the trend, not against it. So especially when you're using fibs. So if we're in a bullish market, we'd use it to find supports on pullbacks and corrections, and vice versa. So if we're in a bearish market, we'd use it to find resistances on pullbacks and corrections. One thing to keep into account is that this is just a trading tool. It doesn't always work, and it's never guaranteed, as is everything in trading. It is a very reliable tool in my experience, but as with everything in trading, it's not 100%. It should be used to help put the odds in your favor, and it should just be used as another confluence to support your overall analysis. So how do we actually plot the Fibonacci retracement? So over here we've got a bearish market. I'm just going to quickly plot the swing lows and swing highs. So we've got a swing high, a swing low, a swing high, and obviously a continuation. On this little diagram we can see that we've got an impulse towards the downside, a pullback, and a continuation, right? So as I said before, we use it in a trending market. We know that the trend is towards the downside, so we're going to use the fib to find areas of retracements on a pullback. So for a downtrend, we go from the swing high to the swing low. For an uptrend, it's literally the opposite way. Or another way is just the start of the impulse. So this is the start of the impulse. In our case, it's a swing high. I'm going to click there and drag it all the way until the swing low, right? Alright, once we've plotted it, you can see that price has had a push towards the downside. It's reversed to the 61.8% fib. This is the golden ratio. Now, compared to all the other Fibonacci levels, this is the one that I use the most, and it is one of the most accurate ones as well. But price has retraced to that level and had a continuation. Now, in actual trading, we won't just trade just off the Fibonacci itself. We'd use it in conjunction with our other confluences. For this example, we've got a bullish market. We know that the overall trend is towards the upsides. So first things first, I'm going to plot the swing lows and swing highs. Let's just assume that this is a swing low, and then this would have to be the swing high. This is the swing low, and we've also got a swing high. Our trading range is from this swing low to this swing high. The market at the moment is bullish, so we'd use the Fibonacci to find areas of support at retracements. We had an impulse, a pullback, an impulse, and now we're currently having a pullback. Yes, there is a possibility that price can reverse and continue going down, but as I said before, trading is never 100%. It's just probabilities. So what we'll do is you grab the fib. So for an uptrend, we would go from the swing low to the swing high, or if it's easier, the start of the impulse. So from down here, we grab it and we click it till all the way up here. Now, we wouldn't just use this. How normally you would plot it is you'd use it in conjunction with the pairs. I can also see that there's an area of resistance, which could now potentially be a support. As you can see, price has come up to this area and it's retraced once and twice again. So we know that there is some selling pressure over here, and that's been broken over here, and price can continue to go a lot higher. Now that the price is above it, it will act as an area of support. On top of this, we could also say that there's an ascending support trend line. So for me, when I trade, I try to look for at least 3 confluences, and already with this, with very basic analysis, we've already got 3 confluences. We've got the ascending support, we've got the break and retest of this area, well, the resistance, which is now support, and we've got the 61.8% fib. So you could look for a long position at the 61.8% fib. The stop loss could either be at the 78.6% or below the last swing low down here, but obviously you'd have to do your take profit accordingly. Another thing is, don't ever rush into trades. Once the price comes to 61.8% fib, you'd wait for candle closure, you'd wait for just signs that it's rejecting this area, because it's not always the case that price will go up. Even if you have 15 confluences, let's say an EMA, a really big EMA lines up exactly over here, let's say there is another trend line which lines up, no matter how many confluences you've got, price can easily break it. Just some quick analysis on cable. This is a trade that I took a few months ago in November 2021. So my analysis was as follows. So we had a clear rejection of this area. This was a previous swing high, a major swing high, and once price rejected it, it started pushing towards the downside. We started seeing lower lows and lower highs, which I am going to plot right now. So we had this swing high, swing low, swing high, and swing low. After this low was formed, price started pushing towards the upside. This is where I looked for my trade. So the first things first is I'm going to plot the trend lines. I'm going to connect the previous two swing highs together. Already, just by identifying the swing lows and swing highs and plotting a very basic trend line, we've already got two confluences. We've got a 50 EMA on the daily time frame, we've got the descending trend line, and also, now as I said before, for a downtrend you plot it from using the last swing high and the last swing low, or the start of the impulse move, which is this swing high. So I'm going to plot it from the last swing high to the last swing low, and it lines up with the 61.8% fib. Another thing is the break and retest. This area, price came down to this area and it pushed towards the upside. So we know this is a small area of support which was clearly broken over here, and it could be used as an area of resistance. So very basic analysis, and it's already given you 4 confluences, and you can obviously enter a short position with your stop loss either at 78.6%, or depending on how you like to trade, if you're a safer trader, either at the previous swing high or even a bit above it, just in case price does wick to that area. And our take profit could either be 100%, it could be used from a fib extension. That's for a whole nother video, but hopefully this video did help you kind of get a better understanding of how to place Fibonacci retracements. Best way to learn is just go into the charts, try it out yourself, backtest it, and just try learn from your mistakes. This is obviously one of my first few videos, so I'm still learning how to make these educational videos. So any feedback, honestly, it'll mean so much, because that's the only way I can improve. Also, if you want me to cover anything, just comment it down below or just send me a message and I'll try and make a video on that. Apart from that, hopefully this does help, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Shooting gun just like a terror, when deep in the pussy like a body burial. Bitch on the water, name it aerial cutie booty. I'ma fuck up the woo. I wanna fuck in your mouth, I wanna fuck on your daughter, your house. I wanna make that bitch pussy my spouse. Show her Giuseppe, she open the mouth.